All right, we're going live. So we're live now. So y'all just keep working, but I'm going to go ahead and start the webinar. I'm going to need Azura and Stacy whenever y'all are available. Okay, let's get the chat screen up.
Because that, and they're pretty fast, and they email safety back pretty quick on some days, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so how are this for? Oh, that is for. I have issues.
Okay. Are you in the Google Hangout, Mathis? No? Okay, it's her. I don't know who's in it because, no, I don't know who's in it because we're like super late, like 30 minutes late, because like approximately 11:45. But you know, you're running on for tea time. Sorry, guys. So if you're in the Hangout, just stay with us on the rewatch. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be 5 minutes of fumbling. Sorry, guys. All right. So if you want to go ahead and log into Nearpod, you can see where we started. Code ZRNUY. And hit the arrow not to sign in. That way you don't have to get your login information, especially if you don't have Nearpod already. It'll ask you to sign in with your name. Any nickname will do. If you're using this in your class, you might want to tell your kids, last name first or something like that, because they do want to put in, nicknames, and you don't always know who's who. So the Nearpod code that I shared with you is a homework code, so we can all go through them at our own pace. However, for the presentation today, we did a live session, and that allowed the teacher to keep control. And so my people who were a part of the presentation couldn't move ahead until I was ready to move them ahead. If you notice here, the first slide, it's a 360 virtual tour of Times Square. We just gave our participants a little A to Z piece of paper, and they had to find all of the things that they could with the alphabet. I was going to try and show you guys a snippet of that really quick if I could. We did a little scavenger hunt. So we threw around some ideas, and some people came up with, if you're using adjectives, then you can find things that are radiant. And if you wanted to do colors, you could find things that are green or blue or yellow. But in this one, we just used ABCD. So here's an example of that form that we gave everybody. We've also done this on field trips, which was pretty fun. And it gives a very interesting perspective, because different people are going to pick different things. Like for our field trip, people were picking different things for the different letters, and when they were able to come back and talk about it, we really got a perspective of what that child thought was important. So that was pretty cool. Also, I wanted to share with you guys, if you weren't able to come to the presentation, we have a listing of all of the sites that we use and that we have presented on today, because there's 5 of them. Nearpod is the first with our presentation. We also had an early finisher activities with quizzes.com. We used BLOOMz, obviously, is the main focus, the star of our presentation, which this link here is to BLOOMz. And then we also use GoFormative and Kahoot. So you can use these. They're pretty awesome. This is what our cards look like once the fonts, adjust. There you go. If you can't or don't have a QR code scanner on the device that you're using, or if you don't have it in front of you because you don't have the card, we did put the link there for you. It's smore.com/2S7M6, and that will bring you to a digital flyer that has all the links to those 5 sites that we're presenting on today. And then on the back, you didn't miss too much, but it was just little quizzes. If you want to try a quizzes, if you've never done it before, you go to join.quizzes.com, code 003942. And if you hear talking in the back, they're just doing a little playtime from the left overtime that we have at our presentation. So they're setting up classrooms and BLOOMz, and they've even gotten their parent-teacher conference schedule set up. So that's what you hear going on in the background. I guess I should have started with that. Just in case you need it again, smore.com/2S7M6. So, wow, that put us into something pretty silly. That looks kind of scary, but there's nothing to worry about there. All right, so let's get back to the presentation. After we moved on from the scavenger hunt, we moved to the quizzes. And then we really got into the meat of the presentation, which is our BLOOMz and why we love BLOOMz so much. Azura's here now, so you don't have to listen to my crummy little voice. You can listen to Azura now. Azura, tell us about BLOOMz. Go ahead. Okay, well, BLOOMz is an app that helps parents and teachers communicate real time with classroom information or school information. It actually pushes a text to them. If you've ever used Class Dojo, they have Class Story, which allows you to put pictures up of events from your classroom, and the parents can log in and see it. This is just like that, except for it gives them the text message to go check it. It's very, very cool. It'll save you a bunch of time on having to use different media sources and things. It just gives you one. So everything is kind of in one place. 1 second, I got a cough, sorry. Apologies. Okay, so here's the video from the trailer, but it's a great intro because it does a really good job of telling you about what BLOOMz does and what it is without giving you too much information. So it's very cool the way that it describes it. I'll go ahead and play it for you. It should play where you can hear it. So let me just make sure.
She needs to read and prepare emails, notes, letters, text messages, schedule conferences, and answer parents' questions. All this on top of lesson planning and managing the classroom. That's why we created BLOOMz. BLOOMz is a new invited to the classroom, so all communications are private and secure. Parents join and start getting notifications in real time. Even those who don't sign up for an account will still receive updates through email. With BLOOMz, you'll can share class updates, field trip photos, or send reminders for assignment due dates, registration deadlines, and more. Parent-teacher conferences can be scheduled and confirmed in minutes. Plus, easy volunteer and item requests ensure she gets what she needs when she needs it. Whether she wants to talk to all classroom parents or only to one, BLOOMz makes it easy to stay in contact, keeping parents informed, involved, and engaged. With BLOOMz, teachers like Melissa save time and can easily manage everything from one place. Join BLOOMz now for free.
All right, sorry guys, y'all just keep going. Okay. Did y'all need me? Yeah. Oh, well then somebody just come take over. Oh, you need me to verify. All right. So just 1 sec, we'll move forward on the next screen. talking about posting as a snap. So Stacy's going to come and talk to us about that while I can just kind of move on to verifying some BLOOMz stuff. So take it away.
With BLOOMz, you can post items easily, either from your phone or from a computer, and you can post things like pictures. We're going to use it this year for our newsletter. You can post documents that are needed. Any of that information can be easily uploaded and posted. You can post messages that will go directly to your parents. Again, it will go to their phone notification, and they can be texted, or it can notify them by emails. It's really easy to use when it has time-sensitive matters. So if you need something right away, or you need to get a notification out directly to parents quickly, you can get that out through BLOOMz. Mr. Coles and Gilbert were in here earlier
If you need anything laminated, bring it down to the library.
We're talking about using it for bus changing notifications this year. So they're planning on hopefully the whole school will be doing it, and they will be able to send out really those time-sensitive information where the parents get the information immediately.
And just so you guys know, we have 0 viewers that are live, but it's probably because we were late. But they'll be able to watch the replay. So
That's okay.
that's okay. We don't have to be nervous that we're messing up in front of people, but they can't ask us real lifetime questions. So that's okay too. All right, moving on. Real-time conversations with parents. It allows you to share information, message them, contact them. Even it'll come through as a text for them. However, you don't have to get out your cell phone number, which is nice so that you don't get those tedious type questions that you have to answer 37,000 times. Just to put it nicely, you all know what I'm trying to say. But you can also choose if you want to message one parent or if you wanted to message a whole group of them. And it does keep a history as well as let you know if they viewed them or not. So there's no more, you didn't send that to me. It does keep that history. So it's nice to have that documentation.
Your class calendar is always up to date. You will be able to upload any events that are going on at the school. You're going to be using the class calendar, the school calendar, so students will always have their lunch schedule. They'll know what's for lunch every day before they get here. There's built-in reminder system, so if you put something in the first of the week, that's actually for Friday. So for example, Spirit Shirt Friday, you can set a reminder to send out that reminder Thursday night. Parents can let you know if they're going to be coming to an event or not. You can import calendars from other apps. So it's like very convenient in that.
Yeah, and you can set up things right now. I know Mr. Colin sent us a list of all the early dismissals, and they gave us a smoothie schedule and stuff like that, our early dismissal schedule. So you can already put that information in today, and then you don't have to worry about it, at the beginning of the month or whenever you normally put your calendar stuff in. It'll already be there. So that's a nice feature of BLOOMz as well, is that it lets you kind of organize now, and kind of while you have time to think about it, you can give it some attention now. The best, I think, the selling point of BLOOMz has to be the parent-teacher conference sign-up and the volunteer and supply sign-ups, because it really takes the ping pong, as I call it, out of scheduling conferences. Normally, you have to send a note home saying, when are you available? They send it back telling you when they are available. Of course, 37 people want the 8 a.m. slot, and you only have one 8 a.m. slot. And then you're showing favoritism to whomever didn't get it. They say that you're being unfair. So you don't want to have that back and forth. And this just really takes the place of that. It's digital. It's, like I said, organized even before school. It's a first come, first serve basis. And if there's any changes, the parents can go in and change it immediately, because we all know that life happens. And so it does kind of, throw a wrench in your plan. So they can go in at any point and change it, and it'll open up that slot for someone else to come in if they wanted to replace it. I have some parents who are having difficulty signing up or finding it, just not feeling comfortable with the technology. Then it's very easy for the teacher side just to input their name and information, and it works just as easily.
As far as the volunteers, you can set up in BLOOMz what supplies you might need. So let's say you're having a party and you need, the Easter party has ice cream, and you need sprinkles, and you need cups, and you need spoons. You can sign up, set up how many of each item you need. When a parent signs up for that item, then it's removed from your list. So you don't get 40 sets of spoons rather than one of each, or how many ever you need of each. If you need 3 sets of paper towels and 5
Pack of plates.
plates, then you can ask for that many, and every time a person signs up to bring in 1, or they can sign up to bring in all 3. That way you're getting what you need. Then you know that morning, well, nobody signed up for sprinkles. I need to go to the store and grab that.
Right.
In case anybody needs them. So you know what you need to go buy rather than having a lot of stuff that you don't need.
It just reminds me of the little pull tabs. It's like whenever you take one if you need it kind of thing. It just reminds me of that, which is really nice because then you don't have a ton of spoons and like no forks. Or if you're doing especially science experiments that require a specific number of items, it's really great. Something we used it for last year was 5th grade bash, when we needed 3 people to do snowballs, 5 to do games, 2 to pass out popcorn. We could sign up for those specific things. Parents could see all of the options and choose the one they wanted. They didn't feel stuck with something, or in that case, they really were able to get what they wanted, which made it easier on us too. And then for supplies, when we needed 12 packs of Gatorade, then we were able to ask for 12 packs of Gatorade and know for sure that that's what we were getting. And then the morning of, like Stacey said, if we didn't have 12, then we can actually know what we're going to get, and it gets rid of some of the overlap and not having enough. So it's really wonderful to get you organized. Your parents are going to love that they know exactly what you need, exactly what you want, without having to play the guessing game. So it does take a lot of that ping pong out of it, takes a lot of the guessing out of it. So BLOOMz for signups, if nothing else, and we will say this, start small. Just maybe start it with just your parent-teacher conference. Set it up now for October, and then as you feel comfortable, introduce some new things. Start with just a message, or start with just posting a picture. Just do very little things in the beginning, and that way, once you feel confident, you can move on to something else.
Okay, BLOOMz is an invitation-only network, which means only join it if someone invites you, whether it's a teacher or another parent. Once a parent joins, the teacher has to verify their status, so you can either approve them or not if you did not want them on there. It's very private, does not let go of anybody's personal information. They do not get the teacher's phone number. We don't get their phone number. We only share the information we want to share. There's no advertising. I'm getting that. And also, if you have a parent who is being unruly, you can mute that parent. That parent can still get updates from the teacher. However, they will not be able to comment on the updates or anything else like that. So it is pretty safe.
Yeah, and it's on that closed system. So whenever you post a picture, you don't have to worry about it making it to Facebook from BLOOMz. It's going to stay in the BLOOMz closed system, so nobody else is going to see it. And there's also like a ton of other awesome features about it. We did give a handout to our participants today, sorry. And I will show you a copy of that. There's just so many things that BLOOMz can do for you and take the place of for you. It's going to definitely get rid of your remind, because any messages, requests, volunteers, calendar updates, anything like that, it's going to update and via text. So now you don't have to send the text. Also, it takes the burden off of one person per grade level to have to send it if you're departmentalized like 5th grade. Or if, one person has a login, now everybody can send the information. Some things that we wanted you to notice coming soon would be behavior tracking. It's still in beta, so we're not quite sure how that's going to look, but we feel like it's going to take the place of Class Dojo. So we're really excited to see what they have in the next week or two for that. And then they're going to have the student portfolios as well as to share video. So if you are thinking about using the recap app, then the videos should help with that. And then any videos that you want to just send home, maybe, you know, how you use them in your classroom, maybe a STAR student interview or the pledge, or, you know, the possibilities are endless on that one. So that's a bunch of the features. On the back of our handout, I know the print on this is super tiny. It's available on the website from BLOOMz. It's a teacher that independently did it, but it just shows you how it compares to other apps like Seesaw, Remind, Living Tree, Class Dojo, some that you may have seen or even used before. We had the complaint of it's just too much. It's too much to have Remind and Dojo and Classroom and BLOOMz and this and that. So BLOOMz really does take the place of a lot of those, making it a lot easier for your parents to stay connected, to feel involved, and to be, you know, on the same page as you and your partner teachers, again, if you're departmentalized. So let's go back to the presentation. And y'all, so sorry, but we are just now getting used to this whole on air and a webinar. It's our first one, so thank you for being patient. We've had, you know, a couple little hiccups, but that's okay. We're learning. Excuse me.
With BLOOMz, teachers like me can save a lot of time. Again, instead of going to all the different things like Ms. Fritchie just said, going to the recap app, Class Dojo, Remind, it's all in one. It makes it a lot easier, and again, better with time.
Mm-hmm. Because no, it's definitely a time saver. And again, on the BLOOMz site, it does give you a lot of that information. Here we had the link to Kahoot, but I don't think we'll be able to do it with you guys unless you wanted to see the preview of it. And I think you could actually get that information from our s'more site, look at some of the Kahoots. It's so simple. It's just a review game. And I really think if you watch it on the YouTube channel that they have, you'll be able to figure it out within minutes, because it's super easy to pick up. With everything else, just like this, start small, do a few things. And once you use it, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. I think it's something that's definitely you're going to love. So whenever it's time for you to get started with BLOOMz, we did find this out today, which I'm so glad we have this presentation, is that you have kind of 3 sections in BLOOMz. There is the community, and that is your school. There is the class, and that is your grade level. And then there is a group, which would be either your team or your homeroom class. So just keep that in mind whenever you're filling out or starting it up. And it would be helpful to sit with your grade level when you're setting it up, so you can discuss how you want to disseminate information. For example, 5th grade has a 5th grade class, and we have 2 teams. And when we give information, we're going to be giving information for basically either the whole 5th grade or just our team. So when we set up the class as our 5th grade and the groups as our teams. And so if you need any help with that, just make sure you get us either Stacy Bradford, Azura Hallett, or Becky Fritchie, and we'll sit with you whenever you guys set it up or answer any questions. We have our emails available to you to help you, because we understand that was kind of the part that gave us a little bit of trouble, but together we can figure it out. You guys sat with them while they were setting up classes, so tell your experience and how some people were setting up and some things that we needed to go over.
When you set up your classroom, it's going to ask you to enter your school. Make sure you enter Spanish Lake Primary. Miss Becky's going to have to verify it through hers, and after that, it'll be able to set up your class. You set up the name of the class, and then you can print out an invite to the parents with a code. That's really pretty much it. It's very easy, and you can, yeah, that's about it. Anything else, Ms. Bradford?
No, that was about it.
It's
very easy.
It sounds like it's too good to be true almost, but it is really that easy. You can either have them sign up with a class code, or you can type in manually each one of their addresses. But we found that the code is just super easy. for them, because they just go to BLOOMz.net and then put in that code in or put them in so that you can add them and verify them. So there's also that security and that sense of security that you don't have to worry about other people having access to private information.
One thing I noticed that second grade did is some of the teachers set up a homeroom class for their homeroom, and then for both of their classes for, I guess, ELA or math. So that way, if Kim needed to send something only to her homeroom, she has a class for that. But if she wanted to send something to both of her math classes, she could do that as well. It'd be 2 separate classes.
And from your groups, you can do subgroups. So you can do that too. So there's a ton of options here. Like I said, just get with one of us if you don't, if you're having any trouble with it, because that's about the most difficult part is how do you want to set up your communication system, whether you want to get to every single person in the grade level or whether you just want to talk to your class.
And when you join the Spanish Lit community, just to make sure you understood that part, you won't have to wait for Becky to verify you. She's usually always on her computer, so it won't take her long. She will verify you fairly quickly, and then once you're verified, then you can start setting up the rest of the information. So
yeah, it normally alerts me to my phone, so I can do it pretty quick. If I'm not at the computer, like nerding out like normal, then at least it's coming to my phone so I can get to you guys pretty quick. But if you notice that it's taking me a while, or you're thinking, wow, it's been a little bit of time, I don't even think she got it, just send me an email. So then we can go ahead and make sure everything's going through.
Don't forget it, whenever you sign up, you have to verify your email address as well. Make sure you check your spam account because they might be sending your verification through the spam. So double check that in case you have not got an email from BLOOMz.
Good point. Thank you. Again, we were talking about inviting parents. Notice that on this slide they have, you can do it via email where you type in everybody's email. You can use your contacts list where you just kind of import the list. But we found class code was really the easiest. I'll show you guys. It'll take me a minute to pull it up. For my 5th graders, for the parents, I'm going to send or have this available to them. Sorry, I was looking at the Hangout. I didn't realize it was sharing exactly what I had up there, but that's fine. I wanted you to see this. Where for BLOOMz, they're going to have to put in both codes. And notice that it says 5th grade information and the code. And they just go to BLOOMz.net. They put in that code if they want to get anything about the 5th grade. But then team-specific information would be if they just want to get information for the Fritchie Bradford Hallett team. So they will have to put in both codes, but it organizes for them. So once they put them in, they don't have to put them in again. It'll already have them under Spanish Lake, under 5th grade, under Fritchie Bradford Hallett. So I know it seems like, oh man, 2 codes, that could get confusing. It's not. It does it one time and then that's it. You don't even have to worry about them anymore after that. So I think it would be pretty easy for everybody to use the code. But if you want to type them in, more power to you. Some other tips from teachers. Notice that they said for their groups, they did a room parent. You can actually invite a person as part of your members as a room parent. So it kind of gives them that title. I think it does give them a little bit more access to communication and some things that maybe the other members wouldn't have. For example, other members can't post a need for volunteers, but I think your room parent would get that option to post for volunteers.
if you have a parent that's planning your Christmas party for you.
I don't think it can hear you, Stace.
So if you have a parent who is planning your Christmas party for you, then you could have that person assigned as the room parent, and then they could post for volunteers for that. Or like for our 5th grade bash, we'll be able to assign the person who is organizing that event as the room parent, and then they can post information about that event.
And as Azura was saying, the school account, now all the parents and teachers are part of the same community. We'll have the school as a class and then be able to break it up, like the buses will be its own class and each bus will be a group. So if you want to send a message to all bus riders, then you send it through the class, and if you just want to send to the pink bus, you'll send it to the group. So that's kind of another way to think about that class and group. What's the difference kind of thing? I know it seems pretty silly, but it just depends on how you want to send information. Do you want to send it to every single person, or do you just want to send it to one particular group or sampling of that whole class? The pictures, Zara made a really good point, or Stacy made a really good point earlier about the pictures. When your parents put those pictures in, it also says like Jamie, parent of Sally. So then whenever you print out your parent-teacher conference schedule, it will print out Jamie, parent of Sally, and then you're able to see that picture too. So when they're waiting out in the hall, you can greet them with their name and greet them with, oh, you must be Sally's mom, because sometimes, you know, we don't all look like our parents or our child. So sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable, and this kind of helps with that. It's just kind of a side note. But I thought it was pretty neat the way you could do that. They also have a BLOOMz blog if you're into the blogging world. Get some information there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the resources. There is step-by-step tutorials. There are videos. There are handouts. There's instructions for parents that they just give you from BLOOMz. It's really, really a wonderful site, and it's very easy to get to. If there's anything that we talked about that didn't cover in enough detail, this is the place to go. So bloomz.net/resources is the best place for your step-by-steps and your information and anything that you need help with on setting up. They probably have a video for it too, honestly. In fact, I thought it was so important, I was like, let's go ahead and just put the link into the Nearpod for it. So if you're on the Nearpod at home, then you do have the link to it. Let's see, I'm gonna change my screen share to show you that pop-up. There we go. Like I said, we're learning here, we're learning. So if you need any help with anything, they have all the information there, how to get started, what the letter will look like. I'm so glad I see on your Spanish translation, or Spanish version, because part of the full list of BLOOMz features is that it translates to 80 languages, which is awesome for us that have problems getting information out with a language barrier. So this is just another way that we can connect with our parents that maybe in the past was a little bit more difficult. So the parents can also use this information. Notice the code of conduct and the media agreements. These are things to consider. And then many of our resources for our presentation today came from the resources section right there. Did y'all want to add anything on that? Okay, just make sure. All right. Not the entire screen, one sec. So from there, we just asked for a little bit of feedback from our participants today. So if you wanted to use or see GoFormative, that was really one of our tools that we used a lot last year. It has so many capabilities and so many applications in every subject area. I guess I'll bring you over to the link real fast just to show you the welcome screen for it, because it's pretty awesome. So when you're on the welcome screen, you notice here off to the right, it's got all these pictures that are coming in from all these students, and you see there's a 92% average, and one student is in the red, one in the yellow. You see the hand here giving specific academic feedback right then and there to the student. This is another application. If you're not doing drawings, you have answers. You can take off the names of the students, and now you have strong and weak models of writing samples instantaneously. So there's so many applications you can use GoFormative for. If you wanted to give us a little feedback, our GoFormative code is GGAC277. Okay, GGAC277. Oh, sorry, 227. GGAC227. GGAC227. All right, so there's that. But it's just a few little silly questions. It's just to give us some feedback, because we want to make sure that we are doing you guys a service and making sure that you are getting informed and that you are leaving our presentation or our webinar with information that you can use today. Hopefully you're able to set up your classroom and you're able to set up your parent-teacher conferences. You could also even get your volunteers and supplies in there too if you wanted by the end of today's presentation. So we hope you love BLOOMz as much as we do. And then if you need us, thank you. If you need us, email us. We'll be there. Stacy Bradford, Azura Hallett, and Becky Fritchie. I think I still have our card up somewhere. I'll put that up real quick and just leave it there for a minute so that you guys can use that if you need to. It'll just be a second because I clicked out of it already, not thinking. But yeah, if you need us, let us know. We'll help you. We're definitely going to have the buses up there. I'm going to go meet with Miss Gilbert right now. So that'll be available to you guys. I am so sorry. Like I said, new systems got to come with kinks, right? All right, here we go. The presentation, share that. There you go. And just so you remember that the link to all the sites that we use is smore.com/2S7M6. There's all of our emails there for you. And then if you wanted to play the quizzes, sorry, it's officially quiz is, then you could play with the link that was on the back of the card, but it's really not that important. It's just silly, interesting facts. So if you need us, let us know. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.